Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Jared Brandon Wild Pickups.
Hey everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. We are thrilled to death that you are listening to our show, the Guitar Knobs podcast.
That's right.
In these dark days, these strange and twisted days of ours, this is the first time, everybody, that we have not been in the same studio.
Yep.
Yep. Yes, we are
Tony's
isolating.
at home. Jared's
We're
at home.
self-isolating.
That's right.
I am getting a massage right now.
Yeah, of course you are.
Sure.
You're probably getting your toenails done, Todd.
So honestly, this particular episode just kind of started out as let's test our gear. So we've got Jared using something. Heck, let's just say thanks to Rode for helping us out right now. He's using a desktop setup that we got from Rode. And Tony, I gave him his microphone that he uses in the studio, so he's using that at home. And I'm using this one in the studio. I'm still
Wait
here.
a minute, Tony. Do you have the articulating?
I do
arms?
not have an articulating arm, and I'm kind of upset about that. But desperate times call for desperate measures.
That's right. We got to make do with what we got.
That's right.
And I got to tell you, this equipment from Rode is definitely a big advantage to our show.
Jared, what are you recording out of over there?
I've got a Rode unit, and let me just read what this thing is for everybody. It's a Rode Microphones Complete Studio Kit with audio interface, NT1 and AI-1, the condenser microphone and studio quality audio interface. Comes with an NT1 condenser mic, an AI-1, I believe it's an I, single channel audio interface, MSR shock mount, and pop shield.
Wow.
XLR cable and USB cable.
Yeah,
I think that covers it all.
www.rode.com.
It's everything on there. And you know what's really neat about that little desktop unit? It's like a solid puck of machined aluminum.
It is.
It's pretty cool.
Nice.
So anyways, we got nice sounds coming from Jared. So thank you very much, Rode, for providing that. And over here, I'm on the Rodecaster Pro and the Procaster mics. So, yeah.
How's your articulating arm?
Mine's doing all right. It was weird because I went and dropped that off at Jared's house last night, and he opened the door, and I just backed away. And he's intimidating already, but we immediately just was like, you stay over there and I stay over here, and it was really disarming. And I think it's one thing to be doing that with strangers or even in the workplace where you're not necessarily pals with everybody, but that was an odd feeling. It wasn't a good feeling, I'll say that. He stood on one side of a porch and I stood on the other, and we talked.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. We did practice the social distancing, and it felt like we weren't allowed to be friends, to be honest, but it was weird. But we stood there and talked for about a half hour and had a good time.
Yeah, indeed. So then, and I also went and dropped off Tony's and saw his dog Marvin going nuts as I came up to the porch. That was fun.
Yes, he's a handful.
So
he's being quite good right now.
That's good. Anyways, hey everybody. Tony, what do we do on this show typically?
Typically, well, yes, under normal circumstances, we would like to talk to people involved in the boutique gear industry. And by that, I mean people who are makers of things like guitars, and amps and pedals and accessories and all kinds of things. And occasionally we run what we like to call our 101 series, where we talk
That's a lot of fun.
That's Jared's favorite. But tonight we wanted to focus in on how, each of us is dealing with the coronavirus epidemic of 2020, and what we want to do, what we're planning on doing, and how everyone can be safe and healthy through this.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I mean, tonight we were supposed to be talking to Zach Slater of Birmingham Sounds. And he called up last minute. He's like, guys, I can't, I got stuff going on here at work. He's out in like the Baltimore area, I believe, in Maryland. And they do concerts. He does something in the concert industry. And they were filming, and somehow that got wrapped up in the news, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so he had to reschedule. So he said, hey, let's take this time to make sure all of our remote stuff is working. We're going to catch up with Zach soon.
Okay,
out of Birmingham Sound. So he is going to reschedule everybody. And we've got, you know what? I'm going to throw a couple things out there real quick. I'm going to let people know who we've got coming up on the show in the near future.
Wow. Sounds good.
Yeah, we've got Zach Slater from Birmingham Sounds. We've got Josh Forrest from Tree Tone Guitars. We got Ryan from Fuzz Roches.
Nice.
We've got Nick from Dirty Haggard. We've got Diego Villa. Yes, calling all the way from Spain.
Yeah.
That would be Villa, not Villa.
Well, I like Villa. Diego Villa.
There you go. Thank you.
But you have to, Diego Villa.
Villa.
And then, Solder.
Solder.
And then we have Jesse from Rude Tech. So, and some, and we've got even more. We got a big one coming up too, people. Ooh, doggies. But anyway,
you're not gonna tell us that.
No, I'm not gonna tell you that right now.
We don't even know yet.
Yes.
So here's the deal, to our listeners. We're not stopping. We got all kinds of people, and it's nothing else. We're going to get more people because people are at home, and and there's not conflicts with schedules and stuff. So
this is a prime opportunity, if you haven't heard every podcast, to go back through the library, whether it's through our website or wherever you like to stream your podcasts from, and catch up on all of the episodes. How many are there now, Todd?
Well, by the time you hear this, it should be 166.
Wow.
That's it?
Yeah. Actually, I might put this one in front of the other one that we did.
Okay.
Just because it's poignant to right now. So maybe I'll do this one first. So this one will be 166. I'm pretty sure.
I would say it's pertinent to right now, not poignant.
It might be. It might be poignantly pertinent.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I have something to share. Let's see here. Let me get into my sharing box of goodies. So we have a new executive producer.
Oh, excellent.
His name is Matt Hart. He says, hey guys.
Welcome aboard, Matt.
Welcome. I really love the podcast and wanted to sign up to support you. We appreciate that. I'm a fellow Buckeye living in Cincinnati. I am a college professor in creative writing, currently with a lot of extra time on my hands. Yes, get it in there. Currently with a lot of extra time on my hands due to the coronavirus. I'm also a musician, a singer, a guitarist. You guys are wildly informative and super entertaining. Oh, why, thank you. And wait, let me make sure I got that last line right.
I think he was referring specifically to me, not Todd or Jared.
I've learned a ton listening to the show, and I appreciate all the good company, good advice, and good humor, but especially the noise and nonsense. The noise because it's a noise. Loved your interview with Death by Audio's Oliver Ackerman. Thank you, Death by Audio and Oliver. And the nonsense, because especially these days, it's important, serious business for artists. We need it. I am really grateful for the podcast. Please keep up the great work, Matt. Thank you so much for sending that,
Thanks,
Matt. We really appreciate when people reach out and share their sentiments and just kind of, shake a hand, because we can't do that anymore. So
a virtual handshake.
Virtual, yeah.
We would love to hear more virtual handshakes from everybody out there.
Yes.
I'm going to share something else. I typically stay away from like, hey, this is what we're doing on our show and how well we're doing and blah, blah, blah. But we are approaching the anniversary date of 4 years. And that date is April 18th. That was the first time we had an episode released.
Wow.
And I'm very, very excited about that. 4 isn't any significant number, but it's 4. It could be none.
In the world of
it
world
could have
of
been
podcasts, yeah,
I don't know.
4 is big.
Yeah, and we also just hit 300,000 downloads, and
Holy
which
cow.
I'm really proud of. It's weird because if I go to one of Josh's from JHS, his any video he puts up is like 8 billion people, but the podcasting is a different animal altogether, and this is a very tight, very small, very passionate community, and I'm just grateful for every single one of those. I get excited every time I see those numbers. So not as a trophy thing, but just because cool, we're connecting with somebody else. I love that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, all right, dudes, this has been a weird week, but let's see what's going on in our music world this week. Tony?
Mm-hmm. Let me think about that. It's it's really weird. And now, anytime a package comes in, now I get nervous. Because
I know you got to wipe it off.
Well, you're supposed to. And my wife Jen just said that they're saying, well, it's paper and cardboard aren't as bad, but anything can still contain carry the virus or whatever. So we have to be really careful. I've got a package of material that just arrived today from China, which
oh my gosh,
I think I'm going to let that sit for a little while.
Yeah.
As of now, their numbers are slowing down, but my question is, when did they actually ship it though? That's the question.
Yeah. So this week, really has been, figuring out one, kind of prioritizing some jobs and things. The shop is still open. We're not open to the public, and it's generally, usually just myself and one of my buds that helps me out. So it's not as, we're not like in the public's face and things. So I haven't, and I suppose eventually I will be having a little more free time to maybe, redo some of my guitars. But, the last thing that guitar wise that I did, I did restring my Mosrite 12 string and got that reset up, and it's pretty remarkable. These guitar, this is 1968, I think it is, and they can be beasts, but I actually had to end up shimming the neck back a little bit. It's a bolt neck thing, and the bridge sits up pretty high, but it was down to lowered all the way to the body, so I knew something wasn't quite right. So a couple of little wood shims underneath the front edge of the neck, and it's just perfect. There's a little bit of relief in the neck, obviously from 12 strings, but it's relatively flat. And those guitars are really designed to be set up that way, same as Rickenbackers. They like to be set relatively flat with very little relief. And in fact, I just pulled it out of the case earlier today just to make sure everything was sitting where it should, and it's sitting solid. So that's always an interesting endeavor, working with in this case an electric 12, but 12 strings in general, it can be a real chore sometimes. Changing the strings is a real chore, especially on a Rick. This one isn't quite so bad. So that's kind of my update for the world of Mosrite.
Very exciting. Yippee, Jared.
Yeah. So business as usual, which is surprising and delightfully surprising. It's delightful, however you want to say it. Just count on me for saying funny, weird things you've never heard before, but yet you know what I mean.
Yes, the bastardization of the English language by Jared.
That's Brandon Wan language, man. So yeah, I am so grateful and happy and humbled that I'm still able to build product for people that order it and have a mailman come by and pick it up, or a mail woman. So I usually have
a male person.
Male person, yeah. Male person's it, because most of the none of that matters. So, but anyway, I'm really, really, really thankful and grateful that I am still, like, as of right now today, I am still going. And when I think of people like Andy Harrison and Drew Foppy and our friends and even our friends that, professional musicians and people that support that are right now, they are going to suffer. They have already, they've already facing loss. And so I feel really, really, really lucky as of right now. If they shut the mail system down, then I'm in trouble, but I'm going to be fine, and I'll just be among everybody else, and I'll deal with it.
Well, it's just that, I'm in the same boat as you. If the delivery system is gone, everybody will realize that, and it's just going to be the way that it is.
Yeah, we can't, it's not in our power to do anything about it right now. We just have to get by and just get by, just like the other folks are that already had their income ripped away from them.
Yeah.
So, and another, maybe kind of more of a lighter topic about what's going on is I had taken my green lease, or not a Leasona, but my Meteor winder that I talked up the last time we were together on the podcast. And I actually took that to just get it analyzed at this old electric motor repair place. And I called them to see how it was going. And they said, oh, there's a few wires that we can't figure out. And I said, well, I'll just come on down. So I grabbed a hanky and put it around my mouth and my nose. and I had glasses on. I looked like I was going to rob the place. and it's like in a really crummy part of town where this place is. And I did. I looked like a big robber, but I actually went there and worked with an older fella on that thing for about 20 minutes, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, we were real careful and everything. But as soon as I got everything operating on it, and then I showed him, hey, this is what's going wrong with it. And he said, oh, well, I can program that to, I can fix that. I'm like, cool. All right. And then I was out of there. So, I mean, it was interesting that I had to go and, physically show those, technicians where things go on this old machine. So that was a lot of fun. It just kind of broke the monotony of just staying in the house. But on the same hand, you got to be extremely careful when you go anywhere. So, and I had, this, what do you call them? The sanitation wipes or whatever, the virus killer wipes.
Yeah.
So I had that. I was prepared. I felt good about how I handled it, and I'm thinking about doing some things different in my shop too. So that's pretty much what's running through my head right now, and what's going on in my world.
How about you, Todd? What's going on in your music world this week?
Well, it's been a very, very confusing. We're right in the middle of we recorded other stuff, and we're waiting for masters to come back. And John is working on that, but he's been, struggling with business stuff here. So we've been kind of just, when I say we, I mean my band, and by default, that means me, because I'm running it and I do all the music for it. So, for me, this time was like, all right, let me work on a couple of the new things that we're trying to get out. And that meant doing a little bit more pedal musical chairs, rearranging a couple things. And so, yeah, it was just kind of like going back to the pedal stack and saying, let me see what this combo does. I mean, you can spend days doing that. It's not maybe the best use of your time, but but it is nice. And I also had my guitar back from Chase Gullett, and it plays like a dream
guitar?
now, and it's beautiful. It's the Viking.
Oh, the Viking.
Nice.
Yeah, He still has the double cut, but I haven't been bugging him about it because, he's got a shop to run and he's trying to figure out how to do that right now. So
Right.
Yeah, he's kind of moving into his new area, his new shop.
that's right. Yeah, he's got all kinds of new stuff going on. But anyhow, so that's what I've been doing. Just kind of
Nice.
taking some time to do that.
Keeping busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's, as Jared was talking earlier, we have a lot of friends in the live music industry, and they're just really, not, it's a really tough time because
It's already a tough racket, let alone,
Well, yeah.
Oh, I know.
having
worse
it yanked
yet-
out from under you.
Yeah, worse yet is, a lot of these people are 1099, so they don't qualify for unemployment.
Yeah.
So you can't just go down to the unemployment office and, file the form and that sort of thing. So it's going to be a rough probably a couple of months if I had to guess.
Yeah. I just hope, this poor Rolling Stones, what are they going to do? They can't play. I hope they make it.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
I hope they're able to sustain themselves. But
Well, they might be able to survive off the catalog. I don't know.
yeah.
But, one thing I have noticed that a lot of musicians are doing is they're doing live concerts on the internet.
Yes.
And that is, to me, that is very cool because it allows their fans to, still stay in contact. And if they can't go to a show, at least they can watch it being performed live, on the internet, which I think is the next best thing.
Speaking of that, Tony, I just saw a clip of Sheryl Crow singing a song.
Oh yeah.
That she had a really cool looking old Epiphone acoustic guitar, looked like a kind of like a hummingbirdish type thing, but the Epiphone headstock was really crazy.
I wonder if that was like a Frontier maybe or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll have to go look at the clip and see.
But when I see something like that, she didn't have any makeup on, and it looked like she was just in the comfort of her own home. And
Nice.
it made it feel special that she's, doing a little song for everybody that sees it.
Yeah.
From an organic standpoint, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We talked about doing that actually, right before we started the show on my message channel. We were all talking, and somebody said, "Hey, we should do some of the live, do a live show." A lot of people are doing that, and it'd be a good way to keep us moving and keep us greased. And I was like, "That's cool," except a lot of us have kids and stuff, and I'm like, that would put us all in a small room, huffing and puffing and sweating, and if it was me, this might be careless to say, but if it was me, I'd be like, all right, yeah, that sounds fine, but it isn't, and that's a weird thing to think about. It's not just me, so my actual job is my day job. It would be awesome if this was my day job. Oh my gosh. Hey, somebody rich that wants to support the show permanently or own it, give me a call. I'll do this all day long, every day if if that was my day job. I don't know if Tony and Jared could swing that, but if you sweeten the deal enough, you could get all three of us.
So let's talk salary.
Yes, but the industry that I'm in is marketing and advertising, and I run creative. So we're right in the middle of trying to communicate all this stuff, and people are struggling with the blindness effort, the blindness aspect of it, because it's yeah, I'm not going to get it. It's not going to happen to me. It's how are we flipping that? And just being aware of it isn't just us. It isn't just me. And that's something to struggle with. But hey, for everybody out there who's living in the same house, being in a band, knock yourselves out. That's awesome. But my band won't be doing that, I don't think, unfortunately.
So you're not going to be like the Monkees and all live in the same beach house.
No, but that did give us time to we're sorting through all this. It's a lot of work to actually release something properly, because we're sitting there struggling, going, What are the things that we are not accounting for? Because all you hear is horror stories about if we would have done this at the beginning, we would have got paid, or I wish I would have had those rights and I didn't know, So we're trying to be mindful. So that's giving us some extra time to kind of thoroughly go through this because, the world is on hold. So,
yeah, it really is. And, the one thing that's I think is going to come out of this is it's going to forever change the landscape of the concept of working at home.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many people now that, they've been told that they shouldn't come into the office and they're able to work at home. And, that was almost kind of a no-no in certain jobs, but I think it's going to be more widely accepted.
Yeah.
And, even how things are done as a group. I think, there's going to be a lot more, whether it's virtual or, online or on the internet. I think, that's the one positive thing that that will come out of this.
I think something else that we're going to be seeing, I think we've already seen it. There is a sort of a neutralization of who we are. This is bringing us all back to, hey, we're all humans, people.
Yeah.
And
people are reprioritizing and
exactly,
seeing, and I mean, for better or for worse, if you have the opportunity now to spend more time at home with your family, that I think that's a good thing. I think, people oftentimes have careers that don't allow them to, spend much time other than that, after 5 or whatever the time might be.
Yeah.
So I think that there's going to be, I think there's a lot of potential good that will come out of this. I mean, half the people I know already spend, a lot of their time, going to Netflix and, watching, binging on, however many episodes of something or other. So now, now it's allowed and you can do it more hours of the day. So
yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of babies.
Ah, that's right. The second baby boom's coming in about 9 months.
Maybe about 10. I think right now everybody's a little still freaked out about that, but who knows? Early or late this year. We'll see what happens. I think there's also going to be a tremendous explosion of creativity. Even right now, people are taking the time to do the things that they've wanted to do, that they haven't had time for. Or like, hey, I'm going to see what I'm going to give this, being online thing or, YouTube or podcast or whatever it is a try. And I think it's weird how these things can work because, we're going to see some devastation and we're going to see a lot of heartache. But on the flip side, there could be some really amazing things that come out of this. We were likening it to like when they pave an area, somehow grass always or little weeds or plants find their way through the asphalt to reach the light.
They do.
Yeah. So I think we'll have a lot of that. But
thanks, Todd. You've inspired me to. I've been wanting to write this rock opera based on the music of Judas Priest, and I think I finally have the time. And now, with your permission,
I think that's
the ability
brilliant
to do it.
I tell you what, and I'm not even joking about this. So I think I mentioned this before, but I'm a huge Adam Ant fan from way back. I love the Adam and the Ants, and my daughters do too. I didn't force it on them. They all really, really like them, like crazy pants like them. And my daughter was sitting there and we were just talking about like creative stuff. And she was talking about reminiscing about going to the show that I took her to see the show. And I said, and she's in theater. And so I said, it'd be a pretty awesome theater event. What if there was a play or, a musical, sorry for those theater people out there, a musical about, where you threaded Adam Ant's songs through some, and she looked at me and she's like, I can't, I don't know how to do that. I can't. I'm like, you should try. I went upstairs and started working on stuff. I came back down and she was like going for it. And I walked by a little bit later and she goes, "Hey, look what I already have." And she was like talking about what the set looks like and what I was like, that's so awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. So people,
they did it with Green Day.
Yes, exactly. And Adam Ant's music is so much better. But anyways, no, I know a lot of people like Green Day. I'm not one of them, but that's okay. So anyways, we talk about this on the show all the time. Don't let anything stop you. If you think you want to do it, go for it. This is an excellent time. Get some DIY kits. People go out there and make some pedals and stuff. On that note, what we thought we'd talk about just really briefly is what are some of the things that we are going to do during this time from a guitar gear related perspective or a musical perspective. So Tony, I'm going to kick that over to you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I think I'm going to use this time to take stock of what I have. And I mean, there's a number of guitars I probably haven't cracked the cases for at least a year, and just see what they're doing, change strings as needed. I've pretty well gone through my amps and other, electronic stuff already. So I think that side of it is, but I think it's going to be just some basic, guitar maintenance and repairs as needed. I hopefully won't have too much in the repair category. And I'm just going to, my plan is to continue working the shop as time permits and as the government permits. As I said earlier, mine isn't as face to face with the public, but there's still anytime you walk out out the door and go to the grocery or whatever, there's a potential for coming in contact with someone who has this. So, we've been just, making, actually, I got the ingredients to make some of our own hand sanitizer today. I found a little bit of aloe vera gel somewhere. We've had, like rubbing alcohol and some essential oils and things like that. So we're going to make up some of that because, as most of you probably know, you can't find any of that stuff out there. No hand sanitizer anywhere.
Yeah, so my wife did a lot of 5Ks, 10Ks and stuff like that. And when you pay for those, you get a baggie of goodies that, giveaways and little gifts. And almost every time they give you a little travel packet of sanitizer. So for all these little baggies she's got, I'm sure we've got a little stockpile of tiny little hand sanitizers.
Well, one caveat on that is, from what I've heard, the experts are saying if it's more than a year old, the alcohol amount starts to go down. But yeah, I mean, you could still use it. You
would think it would go up, right?
Yes, like a fine hand sanitizer. This is a French Bordeaux.
I'm glad you brought that up too.
I mean, I think it's not that you can't use it. I would still continue to use it. You might have to, beef it up with a little extra, rubbing alcohol or, God forbid, vodka. But
it's like every day you learn something new about this thing. Like I learned being on anti-inflammatories is really bad. They're saying ibuprofen actually encourages the coronavirus, or whatever we want to call it. So I've been taking it for 2 weeks, man. So it's like, nope.
Switch it over to Tylenol.
Yeah, I'm done.
The other thing that I thought was really cool is, and I've seen it. The big story was a distillery out of Maryland, I believe. But their business is primarily making ethanol or distilled alcohol. And they are now, to keep their workers going and also to aid in this epidemic, is they got the supplies in to make a hand sanitizer using their their distilled alcohols. So everybody's pitching in to help with a lot of these shortages that we have.
If we go back and look at a lot of the history of those breweries, like Leinenkugel's during the Prohibition back in the day, They used to make soap. They just turned their production lines into making useful products that people need to buy.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to see businesses do that and be innovative and stuff, and of what they can do.
Yeah. So Jared,
Tony,
how about what are your?
Hang on,
Oh,
Tony. You were like, so I got a whole bunch of guitars and blah blah blah. One thing that we are gonna do.
Yes, we were talking about this.
We don't even have to totally let it out of the bag, but we're gonna do something special with Tony's collection of stuff. Yeah,
Not just guitars.
Is there one or two that you're kind of like anxious to uncork again?
Well, there's a lot of projects that we've talked about on the show that I think I might have posted a photo or something on, but I think it would be kind of cool. The one that comes to mind immediately is like the Joan Jett Melody Maker project. And I think a lot of people have seen pictures of it. They haven't heard it yet. So I think we might try to do maybe a quick demo. I'm not the best demo person to do it, but
Zach.
Yeah, actually, we should have Zach do it.
We can't do that because he's...
Yeah, that's true. Zach is probably not good to be around during this time because he's got underlying health issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got an immune deficiency. So
well, whoever does it, I mean, I think it would be just kind of fun to go a little more in depth, and it's just going to be a little short segments on some of the little treasures that are floating around here.
Yeah.
So that would be kind of fun. Look for that coming up on. We're going to do that on IGTV.
Yeah, that will be on IGTV. We're going to try to really beef up our IGTV. I've been doing that as much as I can, but that is something that we're going to be doing. Also, I would like to mention that in honor of our 4th anniversary, we're going to be doing a pretty big giveaway. Now, it's not one of these where... I don't know. Who knows? Maybe a bunch of people send a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. Maybe that's a whole other giveaway. But I know that we're going to be doing one giveaway, and it is from somebody that we talk about all the time. And so by the time that you hear this, I will likely be just about to announce it. And it has to do with a road. So, yes. But anyways,
I know those guys.
Yes.
Yep.
Anyway, so we'll be beefing up our IGTV and stuff. YouTube is still something that we just simply don't have time to do. Everybody, I'm sorry. We get asked this a lot. Why aren't you guys doing a YouTube channel? Why aren't you, recording this live and all this stuff? And it's like, we don't have time. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of stuff that we don't have. And I don't know if you've seen these two guys in person, but podcast is better. So we're gonna hold down the podcast for
podcasts.
Yes, we're gonna continue to hold down the face of or the podcast for it. And there are so many people out there making amazing content on YouTube, and I think we would be a grain of sand in an ocean at this point if we were like, ta-da, here we are. So, I think we're just going to keep trying to do this the very best we can.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And using IGTV as our sort of YouTube, our own YouTube. Yes. So, yes, Tony is sorry, as I was talking over you. Yes, let's find out, Jared, how are you going to handle all this?
I lost focus.
What are you going to be doing during this time with the plans?
Then now that you have a little extra time on your hands.
Going to continue with, making pickups.
Yeah. So now that I could have some extra time on my hands, what I would do is I've got so many amplifiers and so much gear in my basement. And I'm not trying to sound, I have this and I have that, but it's a shame when you have stuff and a lot of it doesn't get played. So what I'd like to do is kind of have it set up to where I'll want to try different amps and play through different amps and maybe use different pedal configurations for different amps and just kind of I don't know. Would streamline be a good?
Yeah, well, that's what I was.
Use?
I was thinking because, like, let's be honest. Like, you are a bit utilitarian when it comes to your gear. It's set up, and you're like, this is the way I had it plugged in, and I left it because I'm busy working and stuff. And
exactly.
You have all those amps, but it's such a pain in the neck to try to, like, hey, this is a cool pedal. I wonder what it sounds like on my Orange. Well, now you got to completely undo everything and get it over there. So, maybe there's something, I know that when we were talking with Delisle Guitar,
yep,
he mentioned that he's got something that could take care of that, where you can link up basically all of your amps and basically just go through a switcher.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that way you just turn the dial.
Yeah. I've got a lot of pedals too, and so I want to use all my gear because I like all my gear. I bought it all because I liked it, so I want to use it. It's as simple as that. So I need to figure out, how I'm going to do that. Also, guitar wise, there's guitars that I haven't gotten out in a long time, so I might think long and hard of if I'm going to sell any guitars and why. I'm going to sell it. So I want to think about that. And I've got a couple of projects, and I always have a project or two in the oven.
Yeah.
That's still going. So it just feels like it's always been kind of a work in progress. There's always little moving parts as to why I do this or that. And one big change, like streamlining all my gear, would really be refreshing, to be honest. And now we're kind of, we're advised to stay home unless totally necessary. I do have more time, and I don't know, maybe I can get that done. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Good. Make the best of a bad situation, right?
That's exactly right. Like, I've got this Epiphone Bobcat project that I bought this Bobcat for I don't know how much, because I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I wanted to make those, Emperor type, pickups, those single coil pickups.
Oh yeah.
The mini, and I was able to make one, and then I had you make the surrounds for those pickups.
Right.
I haven't touched that project in over a year, man. I need to,
wow.
there's just, I need to sit down and make a list and to just knock this stuff out now that I have the time, because I got to tell you, I'm hoping when things get back to normal that, it hits hard, and there's Summer NAMM coming up too, that I hope we have, I hope is still on. And I did get an update from them, and they're saying they're watching what's going on, and they're still planning on having it. But, of course they said if they're not going to have it or they cancel it, then they'll, refund. And that's really great of them. But
yeah,
honestly, I'd rather them have NAMM or postpone it so we can have that, because I love doing that show. I really want a booth, and I love it when the knobs come around and introduce themselves. But
well, yeah, that also goes for, there's a lot of regional guitar shows that I think noticed from one that they either have to move, postpone it and move it, or cancel it completely. And that's
Guitar Fest, they had to postpone both of theirs, I believe. And for one show, I was sponsoring a pre-party, a kickoff party for, and I hope that, I'm pretty sure they'll still, the guy running those shows he's a really great guy, and he's going to make it right, and
right.
It's nobody's fault that all this,
well,
we have to deal with it.
Yeah. There's just, this is unprecedented. And I think people are doing, things that are certainly out of the norm, and we'll have to adapt to, this is our what do you call it, a fate, but whatever, it's just what we all have to deal with. And I think people are going to all come together and do the right thing. And,
saving lives always comes first.
Absolutely.
And then supporting your neighbor, making sure your neighbor is good to go. And then, taking care of yourself. And that's just, that's the line of priority, I guess, in my life. But that and
stocking up with toilet
TP,
paper too.
Yeah.
Right.
When I feel bad for the folks that are bragging about their sandpaper toilet paper online. I want to comment and say, hey man, can I borrow that to, clean off my fretboard?
Yeah.
But that may be all they have. So
crazy pants.
Well.
So let's see. I've got a lot of things cooking. I've got a couple special projects that I'm working on that maybe hopefully we'll get a little bit more info on later. But as far as the straight, I moved everything into like my basement area now. We had it was odd because I had stuff upstairs. And then we're well, we're going to put the Christmas tree there. And I'm like, well, fine. All right. I'll move all my amps downstairs to the basement. So, and now I'm down there and I'm like, well, I'm not really bothering anybody. I should just leave everything here. It is a great distraction if I am working down there. But, I think I'm going to actually try to set up things a little bit more, because right now everything's just kind of piled on itself, and I like things
Todd's
tidy.
New man cave.
Yeah, it's a small cave, but I think I can make it. I think I can make it work. So I've been trying to figure out, okay, well, what am I going to do with the pedals? And I got the amps stacked up and stuff. It's not a ton of room, so I got to make the best of it. But that's one thing that I intend to work on. And another one is, I've mentioned this before, like, I don't know. I hate saying this. I really do. It makes me feel stupid saying it, which goes against my ethos on this show. But I don't know all of the actual academic language of the guitar. I've put out a couple albums. I've written a ton of songs. Not a ton. I've written a lot of songs, but it's just out of feel and out of understanding how to play and what it, all that stuff. So I thought, this would be a good opportunity for me. I found this one on Instagram that I'm kind of interested in. It's called Free on Guitar. It's a fretboard. It says fretboard GPS bundle. And instantly when I saw it, I was like, oh, wait, that's totally visual. I can get behind this. And what I found, and I started thinking about this, I was like, how many times have we seen, hey, this is a way to learn guitar. Hey, this is a way to learn guitar. Hey, this is a way to learn guitar theory and learn all the notes. There's a million and one, sort of diet pill ways of playing the guitar, right? Or learning how to play guitar. And I've tried several, and everybody's got a different, a system. Oh, look I've developed this system. It's a wheel. I'm looking at the wheel. I'm like, that means jack to me. Here's a giant chart to put on your wall. Now you can know everything. And I was like, cool. And I looked at the chart and I'm like, damn. So, aside from saying, okay, that's where the cowboy cards are. I get it, but I will freely admit, I took algebra 4 times and I never passed it. Okay. That's a little bit of personal stuff to the point where, here's the thing. I squeaked through I think a D- in math in high school. I went to, what was it? City College or whatever. Before I went to art school, I had to go get all my general, what's it called? Associate's degree or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I got all the general stuff out of the way. And the last algebra class I failed, I'm in freaking college, and I'm failing at the thing that I should have learned 4 years ago, but I couldn't wrap my head around it. And I went into this to the counselor's office, and I'm crying my eyes out because I'm like, that's it. I'm going to be a failure in life because I can't do this. And she said, well, if I'm reading your chart correctly, you're trying to get to art school, right? And I said, I'm like, yeah. And she says, well, you should really be in liberal arts math anyways. And I'm like, I should? What's that? You know? And then I walked in, and you know what the very first thing that I did in that class, it was a huge class. They played. I'm not making this up at all. I swear it on my life. The lights dimmed, and I got to watch I'm No Fool, No Siree. I'm going to live to be 103. It's a Jiminy Cricket film, and I'm like, yes!
I thought they were going to put the count from Sesame Street on.
No, they might as well. I mean, that was, it was the Disney Jiminy Cricket, like, these are numbers.
Oh.
Now, later on, it did get a little more complex, and I did manage to pass with a C-. So,
all right.
I did.
But so obviously, you have a defective brain. We understand that.
Yeah, so I struggle with that because, like, just when it says, like, when you say something like, fifth position, blah, 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 fifth position. It's like, what? Why is that fifth position? Why is this fourth position? What is, so as soon as it gets into all of the language that is used to set up, like, your navigation, right? So it's not just like, hey, this is a G chord. It's like, oh, it's a G, fifth position. It's like, well, I don't even know if I said that right. I got to be honest. I'm bearing my soul to everybody. Now I can rock the crap out of the songs that I play, but if you ask me to play a certain thing in a certain position or a certain scale, I mean, I might as well just walk away. And I don't like that feeling. So I decided,
I guess a little bit of.
I'm gonna try to do this. The thing that really screwed me, and I mentioned this. It might have been on the very first episode. Actually, it might have been maybe the second or third. At the bottom of our website, at the very bottom, I think it still has it. It says there's a quote from not Jimi Hendrix, but from Eddie Van Halen, and it says, "Playing guitar." For me, playing guitar is like falling down a flight of stairs and landing on my feet. Now, here's the kicker. When I was in a music store, I guess I was about maybe 16, and I just started to play guitar, try to play guitar. I had nobody showing me anything. I didn't have an internet to go to. It was like, pick up a magazine and see what I could learn. I remember seeing on the front cover, it said guitarist of the decade, and it was Eddie Van Halen, right? And I was like, yeah, he's so cool. and I looked, and I opened it up, and it was like, there was a pull quote, and it was basically like, I can't read music. Playing guitar for me is like falling down. And I was like, he can't read it. I don't need to read it.
That's right.
Because I was like, I don't get it. I don't understand how to do this. And that was my way of letting myself out of something that I probably would have benefited by greatly. So anyway, so I saw this thing on Instagram, and I think I'm going to check it out. It's called Freon Guitar, Freeon Guitar. And, I'd love to hear if what other people are using out there. It's one of those things that's like, whatever works for you works for you. It doesn't mean it's going to work for somebody else, and you have to find your own way around things. It's no different, I suspect, than like picking up a guitar. Tony can pick up a guitar and says, "This is the nicest guitar I've ever played." I can pick that up and say, "This is a hunk of crap."
Right.
Well, there, potato.
That's right.
So anyways, that's what I'm going to take some time to focus on. And
that's cool. I think that all of those ideas are great. And I think, I'm going to become a jazz guitar player now.
Oh my goodness. Hey,
yeah,
that would be really smart. I remember when we were talking with our buddy, Jeff Schroeder, he's like, yeah, I'm taking jazz lessons. And I was like, really? And then as we were talking about it, it's like, I mean, holy mackerel. Yeah, that like elevated his playing to crazy pants time.
Yeah, and this was a guy that obviously has great chops to begin with.
Oh yeah,
he felt that he was lacking in the jazz area, so he had decided to take some lessons. And he bought a nice jazz box. I made a pick guard for that particular jazz box.
Nice. Yes.
But yeah, I think that's cool. I think people do what you can, and if it's an improvement on your life, this will all be be forgotten in a year, but you can keep up with things and improve your skills and just go from there.
It's funny you were talking about that, Tony. I'm where I'm sitting at in my shop. I'm near an old cabinet, and inside this cabinet, as you were talking about that, I pulled out a guitar chord dictionary. And I was kind of looking through it, and there's some pictures of this guy doing these really weird chords, and it looks like all of his fingers are broken, man. It's like, I think I'm gonna just go with the Eddie Van Halen quote.
Yeah, is that the Mel Bay chord dictionary?
Oh, it's an Alfred Handy guide.
Ooh,
yeah, I think my dad had this, and I kind of grabbed it from his estate after he passed. So
crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The one other
Noise,
thing,
California.
One of the other things I'm going to do, I have 2 pedal projects that I got a little just sidetracked on, and I just kind of stowed them away. So I'm going to break those back out, and 2 little DIY kits I want to get back on too. So that'll be fun.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
I love doing the little soldering stuff. It's fun. So anyways,
except if it's solderless, right?
That's right.
Solder.
I'm not going to say it. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen out there, we know that, I mean, we hope that we're all going to be staying healthy, and we hope that you're taking care of yourself, that you're being safe, that we're trying to do that too, and we're all going to probably face some kind of like reality that people are like, wow, I can't believe that just happened, or I can't believe that happened to him or her. And I hope that all of us don't fall under that umbrella.
We'll hope for few and far between.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Speaking of that, one person that I definitely don't want to fall on is my pal John Finnell, and I want to thank him for letting us use his studio. We started to get some headway into converting an area of the studio into our studio, and that is on hold. So we want to thank him. He's a music producer and recording engineer, John Finnell, for supporting our show. He's been a great guest on our show in the past as a guitarist himself, and he knows how to get the tones you need. Now that's going to be a little tougher right now, but in the future, just keep this in mind, okay?
Yeah,
that's right, man.
When you develop all that music over the next couple of months, and you need to get it down onto well, I was going to say onto tape, but that's rather irrelevant right now.
Well,
but get it on to whatever it records onto, digitally or whatever. He's the guy to see.
That's for sure.
He's the guy.
One thing that he's been sort of broadcasting out right now is that, I mean, one of the things he does is master music. So there are loads of people who have just gone through a recording process and are sitting on tracks. He has the knack. He can help you find the best way to tackle your tone, your sound, your recording project, and bring it to life. So if you have some mastering work that you need done in this downtime, you can hit him at johnfinnell.com, JONFINTEL.com, or via relayrecording.com. Tony
Excellent.
and
Yes.
Jared, we got something to do. Jared,
We do.
hit it.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Even though we're in the darker times of our time right now, we're still going to go ahead with
Mr.
Would-
Sunshine.
That's right. Would you rather?
Wow.
Wow. All
right.
There it is.
That's enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
So this week's Would You Rather is from Jeff, our good buddy Jeff. Knobs, you guys are awesome. Thank you, Jeff. Would you rather test 25 9-volt batteries? So that's 25 batteries that are 9-volt a day with your tongue for an entire year,
Oh, boy.
or play with no low E string at all of your guitars for 6 months. And
Wow.
he told us this came to him in the basement, scrounging for a 9-volt battery for the old Rat pedal. And he really likes the 101s, and he says, take care. Thanks, Jeff. We appreciate
thanks,
it.
Yes,
Jeff.
thank
That-
you. And you take care too.
Wow.
So that's
you have
a
to
fun
test
one.
how many? You have to test
25
9-volt
9-volt
batteries.
batteries with your tongue.
Oh, man.
If you've never done it before, go ahead and try it.
And try to find a battery that doesn't have 9 volts in it.
Right?
Non-alkaline, preferably. Okay, so I'm guessing almost everybody out there listening has done this before. Maybe
I do.
maybe some of the youngsters haven't. But if you take a 9-volt battery and put both terminals against your tongue, you get a little stinging sensation. It's hopefully if it's a battery that's almost dead or have very low voltage, it's actually kind of fun. But when you get one of those real right out of the package 9-volters, it almost burns.
Yeah. You get that funny taste on your tongue.
Yeah, like a real metallic taste. Yeah.
Yes. Like you licked a piece of rusty iron.
Have you licked a piece of rusty iron before, Jared?
Especially
How
not
did you know
now,
that?
but no.
So, wow. That is, boy, those are, well, yeah. So, and the other option is no low E string.
Yeah, like a Keith
Oh,
Richards.
Keith. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that. That's, yeah. Do you want me to go first, Todd?
Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. I was just mulling over the options here. I think I'm going to do the no low E string. I'll do the Keith things. I can't imagine testing 25 9-volt batteries every day and knowing that at least half of those will probably give you that stinging sensation
Yeah.
that can hurt.
Your tongue will go numb, right?
I would guess after testing 25 batteries a day, yeah.
It's probably not good for you.
And you probably will lose your sense of taste as well.
Oh, that would stink.
Yes. So I'm going with the no low E string on the guitars for 6 months. And that's a better deal too, because it's only for 6 months.
Yeah.
But the problem is after doing that for 6 months, would I be able to play 6 strings again?
I know. That's a good question.
Jared.
It's
That's what
making
I'm-
me think about my answer too.
Well, you're up next, so you better go for it.
Well, it's tough because I know exactly what the 9-volt thing feels like. And for some dumb reason, once in a while, when I see a 9-volt, I just stick it on my tongue because I know I just know that's what's going to happen. So I'm like,
That surprises
Hey.
no one.
is this one good or not? And I'll test it on my tongue and be like, yeah, that was really good. That's good. That's a good 9-volt. And then I set it down. And then a few days later, I'm like, I don't remember if I tested that thing out. And then, but 25? No,
That's
I
a
think
lot.
that'll give you you'll turn into that woman on Superman 3 when the robot takes over.
What?
Superman 3 when the robot takes over the
we
lady.
heard
and
you.
she
We were
becomes
just saying what because we were like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, the robot lady on Superman 3.
Yep.
With Richard Pryor.
I didn't even know there was a Superman 3.
Third time.
Yeah, there was about 40 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Or not that long, but yeah, I'm going to definitely do the missing low E. I can take that. I can handle that.
There you go.
Wow.
Todd.
You guys are idiots. Low, you need this. I got to have a low E. Like, I have to. I absolutely have to. So give me the batteries. So that's easy peasy, man. I'll suck it up and deal with it.
Right.
I need my low E. I live on my low E. I don't have.
Wow.
I don't know that I'd even want to play guitar if I didn't have low E. I got to be honest.
Well, how about we modify it so that you could only have a low E string on your guitars?
That's right.
You mean all the strings low E?
All of them are going to be
I can do that.
The low E.
I could totally do that. I would accept that challenge.
Okay.
If anybody wants to make that, I will.
Weird.
I accept it. Let's see here. All right. Well, that was pretty fun. Thanks for sending that in your off time, in your downtime, when you're sitting there twiddling the day away, and you come up with an awesome would you rather. Send it to us, please. You can DM us at Instagram or send it to me at todd@theguitarknobs.com.
Excellent.
Speaking of guitar knobs and .coms, we have some people to thank, Tony.
We certainly do. Now, at this point of the show, there's a special group of people that we like to thank in person. Well, not really in person, but over the internets.
Yep.
If you go over to patreon.com/the guitar knobs, you'll find a couple of different levels in which you can help sponsor this very podcast.
That's right.
Each level comes with its own designated swag, and that can include things like T-shirts and barefoot buttons and picks and stickers and all kinds of stuff, not to mention the giveaways that are exclusive for patrons on Patreon. But there is a level, and we like to call it our executive producer level, that gets all of that stuff and much more.
That's right.
And Jared, what is the much more?
Well, the much more is you get to have your name read on the thing.
Your name read on the thing. That's what I'm going to do right now. I almost kind of lied to you, or at least didn't give you the whole story, because in that executive producer level, there's a special level, a sub level. No, a sub sounds lower. A superior level. How's that? Right. We like to call them our grand poobahs.
That's right.
And I'm going to start with our grand poobahs this week because they are our fez-wearing brethren in arms.
That's
hopefully all safe and sound. Jonathan Jerusik, Corey Nigro, David Kaminga, Cody Lane, Cody Foster, Sean S. And our good friend Tommy Manasco. Now, and not we really appreciate our grand poobahs, but we also appreciate our regular executive producers.
That's right.
And that would include, I'm going to start with our newest one because we got a new one this week. So our newest, his name is Matt Hart.
Hey,
welcome aboard, Matt. We really appreciate your help. I think we should also thank James White and Brett Alexander, Justin Jones, Doug Gann, Tim Novak, John Esterly, Chris Heidel, Brad Partridge, Tyler Bray, John Anglin, Anthony Lanthrop, Johnny Knowles, Stefan Lamb, Michael Senchuk, Brian Robison, Ken Sayers, Michael Van Zant, Doug Christ, Darren Gregory, Chris Carney, John Daly, Martin Cliff, and Tom Barazin.
All right.
Thank you, each and every one of you. If I didn't read your name and you're involved with Patron, we thank you as well.
That is true. Thank you so very much. Boy, I'm just really grateful for the whole damn community out there.
Yes.
Whether or not they're patrons or not, people that are interacting with us, that are coming on the show, that are excited to share. I'm so grateful for everybody out there. And please take care of yourselves. Please be healthy.
Yes.
Please take care of each other as well. Tony, where can people find you?
So, why don't you head over to pickguardian.com and you can see some of the wares that I offer. And, some general pricing for some other ones. If there's a very specific guitar that you need a price quote for, just shoot me an email and I will take care of it personally. If you go over to Instagram to Pick Guardian and the number 1, you can see some of the projects that we've talked about here. And, if there's something of interest, shoot me. You can DM me through there or send me an email and we'll get you fixed up with whatever you need.
J-Rod.
Well, if anybody needs some pickups, give me a call.
How about old pickups that look like new?
If you need new pickups that look old or old-looking pickups that are new.
What about new-looking pickups that look new?
Oh, I have those too.
Oh, yeah.
Can you make an old pickup better but still look old?
Absolutely. Send me your broken pickups that mean a lot to you that go dead. I will fix them for a very low cost and a very quick turnaround.
Nice.
Head over to brandonwildpickups.com. I've got some limited runs going on. Check those out. I now have a noiseless Jazzmaster pickup.
And they are good.
Really good.
I've got a set in one of my Jazzmasters.
That's right.
I put one in my acoustic guitar.
And if you're kind of more old school, I do answer my phone. So give me a call. Yep.
All right. Well,
why don't you answer when I call you?
Well, I don't know.
How about you, Todd? How can people talk to you?
People can send me a DM on Instagram. Be happy to. I'm the one who basically mans the Instagram. I try to get as much Tony and Jared stuff up as possible. But you send it to me and I will filter it and we will all answer things and it'll be great. You can also send an email to Todd at theguitarknobs.com.
Yay.
We're going to keep doing this. We got a lot of good stuff coming, everybody. So hang tight, stay well, and all the things. And subscribe!
Yeah.
I don't like noise. I don't like scratching.
Yeah, I'm here.
What were you thinking about, Todd?
Your mom.
You're there, but Tony's not. On the box.
Oh, you mean on the box? Like the
when I said the
cardboard
box, I meant the box, not the box.
No, Tony's here. I can hear Tony. A banana and an apple. Tony, can you hear me?
What's that noise? I don't like noise. Wah. I don't like dogs either.
I can't hear anybody.
What are we thinking about? You know what I mean? Uh-huh. Tony, are you there?
I am. I am here.
Hello, Jared.
Can't hear anybody.
Jared.
Can't hear anybody.
Roast pork with eggs and cheese.
Can't hear anybody.
Aw.
Can you still hear me, Tony?
I can.
How about you finish eating not in front of the microphone?
Jared?
Jared?
Yes.
We can't hear you. Jared?
Jared?
Yes, you can.
Can you count to 10, Jared?
Are you there, Baloney?
I am.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.